That's her tagline, so to speak. And I'll give you her address. Hayne and copy, paste. All right. So Robin has been around for quite some time, and she is one of my trading coaches that I have had over the years. Another gentleman by the name of, yes, Brent, it will be recorded. Um, uh, Randy Howell is also an excellent coach, and they're not coaching me in the actual trading itself, strategies and methods and so forth, but rather the mindset, okay, and the things that we need to do and to prepare, for the session and to kind of carry you through the session. Because if you're here all day or for whatever time you are with us trading and doing trading for yourself, it can be very intense, and you have to be mentally prepared. All right, you just can't come and say, okay, I'm going to sit down and start trading. You really just got to have some type of a routine, some type of a preparatory, um, you know, uh, routine or ritual, as I call them. All right, you have some type of a ritual. All right. So in that, along those lines, okay, um, Robin and Robin Dane, and as well as Randy Howell have made some major impacts in my own personal trading over the years. And anyways, she had a webinar. It was actually a private webinar. Okay, it is not public, and nor am I allowed to um, send it out publicly. But she did a private webinar for a group of hedge fund traders, proprietary traders, portfolio managers, all right, that she has coached over the years and so forth. All right. And so the content basically of it, the kind of the theme yesterday, last evening was, um, preparing for the trading day. How do you prepare? Do you just come in, sit down and say, okay, I'm going to slap on a trade? Do you have any routines? Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of, expressing that right now. And so she gave some very good insights of, things to do, be aware of. Again, I can't get into all the details here, but one of the core things is, yeah, put on your cape, put on your Superman's cape during, start the day. But one of them is getting prepared for the day. What do you do? And if you've ever seen a batter, right? You've ever seen a sports player, okay? It doesn't matter what, what, sport, okay? You'll notice that, and I think one of the things that's more prevalent would be in baseball when the batter is preparing to come up to the plate. And you'll see when he's up at the plate, he goes through a physical routine. Maybe he touches his shoulder, he taps his shoulder a couple times, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. It is a routine, it's a ritual. And what he's doing, he's getting mentally prepared. He's at the plate, he's getting mentally prepared for that pitch. Okay? And after each pitch, and you'll notice that he'll do the same thing, whether it was a ball or a strike, whether he swung at it and missed or not. He'll do the exact same thing, right? He steps out of the batter's box for a moment, right? Obviously, that tells the pitcher, I'm not prepared, I'm not ready yet. Gets back into the batter's box, right? Maybe uh, digs his heel or foot into the dirt, right, to get a firm grip. Those type of things, right? And then he goes through that same ritual again, tapping his shoulder or something. Okay, So the idea here simply is, the whole kind of theme of the workshop last night, the webinar that Robin did was along those lines. Okay. And it's about kind of centering yourself, getting focused, staying focused, okay, throughout the day. And if you lose your focus, as we all will do, distractions occur during the day, right? You have to effectively, metaphorically step out of that batter's box, right, for a moment, get back into take a break, short break, get back into that batter's box, refocus your attention. And it's very good to do so after every single trade sequence. So something to think about for yourself.
Hey guys, it's John
right?
Muldoon.
And so this was the whole idea. So, one of my routines, all right, as corny as it may be, but prepping for the day, one of my daily, morning rituals is to empty my waste paper basket in my office and to keep it empty throughout the trading day. All right, once the day's ended, right, I'll fill it up. I do, bills and things, and I, read whatever I have to read. And there's papers on my desk and all that stuff, right? And over the weekend, the garbage can gets pretty filled up, all right. But when it comes to each day, before the day begins, and I just did that maybe 5 minutes before I started. All right, uh, emptied it. It's clean. Doors are shut in my office. Right, and that waste paper basket will stay empty the entire day today. All right, I have very little on my desk. I have a notebook on my desk. I write down journal notes. I write down notes that things that that have to be done and so forth, and little like mini checklist, every day and so forth. So I stay focused on the business at hand. So this is something that again, you guys may want to think about. You can go on Robin's site. I think she has some historical videos from prior webinars that she's done, things like that. And if you decide, you want to explore her services, and I'm not pitching that, all right, in any way, but I'm just letting you know that again, I'm a student myself, and but if you ever wanted to go and explore what she has to do, you can certainly use myself as a referral. Okay, I get nothing for it. I don't want anything for it. All right. I just want to pass that along. So between Robin and Randy have done tremendous. They have different approaches, and they're both excellent. All right. You can find Randy Howell, My Trader State of Mind, as well on the website. All right. So let's get going today. So I just wanted to kind of pass that along. All right. Oh yeah, and one of my routines is 5-minute abs. I still have to work on that one though. All right. You know, the old routine. Oh yeah, 5-minute abs and you'll have like super abs, right? You'll have yeah. Okay. That one I still need to work on. Anyways, good enough. All right. So yeah, you go to the gym most mornings. Most mornings. It should be every morning. All right. Not most mornings, every morning. That's how you make it. All right. So have some sort of a ritual for yourself. If you've never done one, think of one. All right. And, all right. And I think that will definitely, help. Again, keep you centered, keep you mindful, keep you focused. So let's focus on the business at hand. Today, as we all know, we have our webinar slot at 1 o'clock Eastern time. It will be recorded for those who are not going to be able to attend. No worries. All right. And we'll have that distributed out. I think also Marlon is recording it on his end as well, so we'll definitely have a couple recordings for you. All right. Okay, so today is a cycle day 3. Yesterday somewhat played out pretty much as we anticipated, somewhat of a backing and fill, sideways kind of consolidation on a cycle day 2. and prices, did reach the I think it was 93.75 if I'm not mistaken, the cycle day, the 3-day cycle target objective. Okay, and that was fulfilled, I believe, in the overnight push. All right, up here, yeah, 93.75 it was fulfilled. So having fulfilled the 3-day cycle objective, okay, now we're on cycle day 3. It was fulfilled. Okay, so since the objective has been fulfilled, the potential for a decline. Now, if we take a look at the daily chart here, all right, let's take a look at the daily. All right, if you see the daily here, we're way up here, right near 2800s, right? So if you look over to the left, we have an overlapping spot here. There was a doji, all right, and then there was the breakdown, right? So basically, price has effectively returned to the scene of the crime, where we had the final doji there and then the breakdown, right? So this whole rally is pretty much, as I stated this morning in the daily trade strategy, is somewhat long in the tooth. All right, so anticipation for a pullback, which effectively is still is still fine, okay, in terms of the channel here. Okay, I mean, we could have a pullback here. We could have a 2 or 3 day pullback here, which effectively would not damage, okay, the overall uptrend, but it would relieve some of the potential overbought conditions, so to speak, right? So so today being, having the cycle complete yesterday or in the overnight, certainly the potential for a decline, would occur. All right. Yeah. So the next target, would be, yes, the prior decline. All right. The prior low. Okay. Which I think we're currently near right now. And then, each of the prior days lows. This is I think this is a cash only. Yeah, this is a cash only chart. So, taking out the 80s down here, 78, 80s where we're currently sitting, again, opens the door back down to, 76, 73s, and then, again, one step at a time, right? So I'm not going to make predictions on what prices, but we do have an opening weakness this morning. Okay, so here's our 15-minute chart. So again, this was the push in the overnight, and then since then it's just been a constant lean. All right, now we're back down near the VWAP 3. All right, and we're down near some critical, support points. Right, remember 76 yesterday was our line in sand. All right, so I wouldn't surprise to see that retested and possibly break. Again, I don't like to make predictions, but we have a poor low right now. You can see how the profile in the overnight, very blunt on the bottom, which simply means we don't have much of a taper, which means that the sellers are more aggressive now on the bid side persistently. Okay, so this is going to come into play very importantly today, right? That 76, 78 zone as we begin the opening. Right. And again, if the bulls want to step up and suck them up, then, that's fine. But, again, I would not be surprised to see a little bit deeper pullback of sorts. Okay. So going back to the 60-minute charts. So we have some targets. So the range here. All right, so the initial target is into this 3-day central pivot zone, which we currently reside. All right, if that does not hold, so you can phrase it, if it holds, then, and then of course you can phrase it the other way. If it does not hold, then what? All right, what would you expect? Okay, what would need to happen? So this is the idea of going through, this if-then-else scenario. So if it holds and then clears back above 82s. 82s was an overnight support point right over here. There was a hammer candle, right, in the Nikkei Shanghai session. All right, I don't know if anybody trades those, but right in here, there was a nice little 60-minute hammer candle. and from the 82. So 82s is going to be your, your resistance kind of inflection point initially in here, 82s into 86s. But if it doesn't, if it holds and then reverts back up there and holds up there, okay, then there's potential for some higher. All right. If it does not and it breaks, this level here, again, you can see 76s is our low of day ATR range projection. That was also our line in the sand the other day. Right. So this zone in here would be in play. All right, for at least the next level target, which then you'd have to go through the same process if it holds or if it doesn't hold. And then if it doesn't hold, I think at that point you're going to see, you would see some more aggressive selling unfold. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's all. What we're trying to do is be prepared. Okay, pretty much the same scenario if you walk through the NQ and for the YM. I don't do that. All right, because I'm not touching upon every single, you know, but the same patterns will apply. The levels you'll just have to work off the charts yourself. All right, but the same premise and concept applies. Okay, so with the cycle day 3 on hand and the target cycles the cycle targets have been fulfilled. Typically, we see a decline on a cycle day 1. That's the norm. But we can see the beginning of the next cycle's decline begin on a cycle day 3. Okay, so that is one of the potential variations of the cycle. All right, and typically that will occur when a cycle objective has been fulfilled, and then price is having difficulty expanding upon that, which that is what has occurred in the overnight. Okay, so today the early lean obviously is going to be to the south until there's some strength of a shift. All right, and that's the way we'll effectively begin the session. All right, any questions on that? We're within a minute and a half of the opening. All right, and that's where we'll begin it. You can see the bias grid over here. Pay close attention to what happens on that bias grid, everyone, because it is quite important. All right, it's pretty much the makeup of everything that we look at internally. Okay, so here is the opening range chart, which we'll discuss later today. And you can see the current price line here is below that range. So we're gonna have as we normally do, we have a gap opening pretty much every day. All right, so today there's a little bit of energy to the downside, and we'll see how that plays out. All right, hopefully we had a nice good sequence yesterday. Let's see if as long as it stays within my range parameters, all right, for risk, I will play it. And if it exceeds it on the opening 3 minutes, then we'll just back off. All right, so the opening is going to begin again, a push into the opening. All right, so again, the initial lean is going to be to the downside. All right, looking for selling opportunities, and that's the way we'll begin the day. Dingity ding ding. And they're off on the US Open. Okay, so